John, you can hear me though? It looks like you're still muted. I got you. So I think we're good now.
Okay, now?
You can hear me though? We're good. It looks like you're still muted. No, we're all good. We're all set. I had to unmute you. Sorry about that.
The meeting started at 4:30.
Yeah, I just wanted to get this up sooner to get the YouTube piece working. Piece working.
Am I the only one on, Scott? No, I lost you.
Yeah, I'm sorry. So yeah,
There you go.
Mrs. Falvo's coming in right now. Mrs. Falvo, can you hear me?
Yes, is this our board meeting?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, all right.
I don't see your video though. Is your video turned off?
Oh, I don't know. How do I turn a video on?
At the bottom left, you should.
Start video,
You got it.
is
There
that
you
it?
go. Perfect.
Okay, all right.
Hi, Lynn.
Hi, John. You know, this meeting starts usually at 4:30, but her memo said 4 o'clock.
I started this a half hour early just to get the YouTube
Okay.
channel set up. So
Okay, that's great.
I
No
think it's
problem.
4:30, Mrs. Falvo.
Okay, that's fine.
So I had us as both hosts. Yes.
My meeting is gonna start pretty soon. I'll call you when it's over. Can you hear me?
No, I've got the meeting stood up because I
Yeah.
have a YouTube channel going. So the meeting's live right now. All right. Let's see. Hi, Michelle.
Hey, Scott.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good.
Have we started? I take it we're not started?
No, we're just trying to get organized.
Okay.
ties in about the risk of transmission and about steps that could be taken in conjunction with getting kids back to school.
Am I muted?
No,
Okay,
I can hear you. How are you?
I'm fine. Let me turn the TV off. Ugh.
Okay. All right. Okay, so when it's time to go into, can you guys hear me?
Yes,
Yes.
So we'll go over to, you know what I don't have? I don't have a host screen.
I don't have
Unless I have,
either. I have everybody.
um,
You don't see managed participants?
oh, yep, I do see that.
That's where you're gonna go to, actually, I'm sorry, it's on the more button.
Over in managed participants, right? Nope.
So I'm sorry, if the breakout room, if that's what you're referring to, is under more.
I don't have a more.
I don't have.
You have it. So I think as the co-host, I can't set up the breakout rooms. I
That's
think
all right, okay, that's all right. So
you'll just have to go into exec session with us is what'll have to happen. So you're going to break everyone to exec session, including Charlie and Chris. You'll have to go in with us.
I don't think so. I think I can just push the people over to that breakout room that need to go and we'll stay in the main room.
But then how will you know when we need to come back?
You're gonna have to text me.
I can't text you.
Okay.
I'm in Coroga Lake. I can call you. I can take the phone and call you.
Yeah, that's fine. And
Okay.
so this is set, I think this is set for, like as soon as I end it, it'll end in 10 seconds. That breakout room and it'll put everybody back in the main room.
Oh, okay. So once I call you, then you'll just put us back in the main room.
Yep.
Okay, that's perfect. So just when you go to break us out, it's Charlie, Chris, me, and everyone, and all the board members. So basically you, Ann, and Deb are going to stay
Okay.
out of the breakout room. All right, so we have about 16 minutes before the board meeting starts, and Elaine, there's a public link, so it means that people can view this meeting while we're doing it, but we can't see them viewing it, I don't think.
Okay,
And
so
I-
watch what we say.
Yeah, of course. But when you recognize visitors, you might just mention that, you know, we're in a virtual meeting and we recognize there might be some visitors we can't see, and hello to everyone that we can't see. And we're not going to be able to have a public discourse with, you know, with members of the public at this time.
Yep.
Yep. And then if you forget to mention, I will mention this, so don't sweat if you forget it, but that this is being recorded.
Ooh, I need to start that.
Yeah, don't forget that. We're recording this meeting. Should anyone want to view it at a later date.
I don't have the record function.
You don't
You?
have record?
No.
I do.
Can you start that to the cloud?
Yes. Do you want me to start?
do it now? We can do it start at 4:30 right when the meeting starts, but.
Yeah. And before you do the pledge, Elaine, I'm going to do a roll call. So as soon as we start, I'll initiate a roll call where I'll go through and get everyone's attendance. And when I'm done with that, then you'll do the pledge and call the meeting into order. So I'll do the roll call. I'll hit the button. So I just have to remember to hit the record button before we do roll call. But will that be recording the executive session? Scott?
Oh dear, that's a problem.
So what I'll do is stop recording, go into executive session, and then hit record again.
So the live stream, right? So I tested the live stream. I'll be honest with you, I didn't test the record feature.
That's
The
okay.
live stream, when you go to the managed room, the live stream stays on the main room. I just don't have the answer for you for record. Sorry.
Okay. So that should work.
We'll do the best we can do.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, we're just doing the best that we can. So,
Somebody joined via phone. I don't know who that is. 723-4408.
It's the doctor.
Oh, Dr. Pasquale.
Marceli, hello. So
Hello.
we're going to start in 15 minutes. So everyone's just going to have to hang tight until the official start
No
time
problem.
comes in. I'm going to quickly microwave myself a cup of tea. So I'll be returning to the room in about 4 minutes.
Elaine,
Yes.
are you still in Florida?
No, I'm home. I've been home since the very beginning of March.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we ended up renting a car and driving home from Florida. We didn't fly. And that was like, I don't know, 21st, something like that.
Of
20.
March. Yeah, of March. Yeah. Well, my grandson is down there now. He's at my home. My grandson that goes to Colgate. So he's been down there now for 3 weeks. I don't know. I said, aren't you coming home? You had to stay 2 weeks. You know, if you went down, you had to stay 2 weeks. Well, he's not coming home right now. So, but they're not in too bad shape down there. I understand. Things will improve.
Yeah, it's certainly been different, for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Understatement.
Well, we have a wedding on May 30th. I don't know what's going to happen with that. My son just wants to postpone it right now. And, you know, but I don't know. We'll see.
Thanks, sweetie, for keeping the TV down. I appreciate it. Oh, this tea is so hot. I'm starving. There's nothing in the house to eat that I don't actually have to like make because I can't eat gluten, right? So I can't even have so much as a cracker. And so there was one brownie left and my daughter ate it today and I was so bummed out because I wanted to have that for a snack in the worst way.
Dr. Thorne, I do
Yes.
have the record function when I minimize the manage participants window. However, I don't want to risk it without testing it. So I would prefer if you start the record,
Yep,
end it before you go into executive session.
yep.
Thank you.
And then we have to pick up the recording again when we come out of executive session. So what I'm wondering is, do you start recording when we come out of exec session? Because what I don't know is if it's going to erase anything pre-recorded, do you think, or it will just pick up stuff?
It shouldn't. It should just add another file to be downloaded. Well, actually, it's not going to be downloaded because the transcription takes place in the cloud.
Yep. So
Nope.
I'm gonna record to the cloud, correct?
That's correct.
Yep. Okay. So that should not be an issue then.
I don't believe so.
Fingers crossed. Hello, Anne. Oh, you're muted. Still muted.
I got you.
Now you're not muted.
Thanks, Scott, for unmuting me.
Sorry, Mrs. Franklin.
Yeah, hi, Aunt. Finally, we can shut you up, right?
Yeah,
I think
You're
you have
welcome.
a lovely, is it a lilac shade you're wearing in that sweater, Anne? It's really pretty.
little
It's nice.
spring, even though it's snowing here in Remsen.
It is here too. It's
You
ridiculous.
know, I'd give it a little spring twist here.
Hi, Charlie.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
All right.
Ooh,
Mr. Hill,
Morris,
Scott.
how are you today?
how are you?
How's
Uh,
everyone?
To get everybody on the screen, what do I,
there's
Right.
in your upper right-hand corner, John, you should see, if you hover over the upper right-hand corner, you should see two icons and one says speaker view. And if you change it over, it should go to like a grid view or a gallery view and you should see everybody's heads.
okay.
Except for Dr. Porcelli's because he's on the phone, so therefore headless.
Okay, there's full screen.
Oh, here's Steve. Let's let him in. That's strange. I just admitted Steve, but he didn't show up. Oh, there he is. No, but there. Oh, there he is. Hi, Steve.
Unmuted now, Steve.
I'll mute it.
No, I just unmuted you.
Oh,
Be
You wanted-
careful what you say.
some
Under-
calls they want you to be muted, other calls they don't. I don't know. I don't know what the protocol here is.
No, I just had everybody set up when they came into this room that they were muted by the system. So you can mute yourself. I just had to unmute you first.
Okay. The weather's funny up in Remsen today. It's sunny, then it snows, then it's sunny, then it snows, now it's sunny again.
It's weird, isn't it? It's depressing. I woke up this morning and it was a blanket of snow on the ground, and I said, "Really?" Same thing here in Caroga, the sun snow thing.
Well,
We had snow one year on May 16th, which was my husband's birthday. That's how I remember it. And it was beautiful. You drove down the hill and all the trees had the white on it, you know. I was thinking about that today. I said, this is pretty late for snow. And then I remembered May 16th. Wow.
Yeah.
You're right. I do love when it snows outside and all the snow sticks to the trees and you feel like you're inside a snow globe.
Right. Beautiful. Yeah.
So pretty.
Until it gets dirty.
Right.
Yeah.
We agree. Oh, Doreen's here. Hi, Doreen. I can see you in the corner.
Got an IT guy helping her, it looks like.
Yeah. Okay.
Maureen, I don't think you joined with audio.
So Doreen, if you go on the lower left-hand side of your screen, you should see a little microphone icon. And if you tap on it, it will say join with computer audio.
That's it. Here's something.
She had some sticky stick under there so it doesn't slide. Hi, Gary.
Hi, Trish.
Hi, Doreen. Oh,
I can't hear.
if you can hear me, Doreen, can you hear me? Okay, Doreen, your audio's not working. Take a look in the lower left-hand side of your screen. Like hover your mouse around it, and you should see this little picture of a microphone pop up. And if you click the little arrow next to the microphone, it's going to give you choices on how you can join via audio. Try to join with audio and on the computer. If it won't let you join with audio, Doreen, when we start the meeting, if you still can't like talk to us, I'll give you my phone number and I want you to call it and I'll put you on speakerphone here so you'll be with us. We can see your face and hear you through the phone.
Scott, is she using an iPad or a laptop?
I don't know, Mrs. Turner. I thought we tested the,
Because on my iPad, those icons are at the top.
Oh, is it on the top?
Oh,
Is it on the top?
you got John and Charlene as well.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello, this is Mike Moore.
Hi, Mike.
I have to call in. We don't have enough bandwidth for 2 Zoom sessions, and Joanne's teaching a class.
No problem. Calling in just fine. Is that Charlene? Do we have you here? Or do we have John Solano here?
Who's on the phone?
I am.
Russ Hi.
Stewart.
Russ?
Oh,
Okay.
yes. How are you, Russ?
Okay.
We've got about 2 more minutes before we'll start, so everybody just kind of hang in there. Oh, Doreen, you're connecting to audio. It's starting to work, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, you're muted. Now you gotta unmute,
Now
Doreen.
you
So,
got on mute.
Doreen, you're working. Say hello. I don't know if I can hear you or not. Doreen, can you try to say something?
Hear me?
Yes.
Right. You want to let Steve know?
And this is how you turn it down and up.
Thanks. Yes.
So where were the writers got their material from for Saturday Night Live when they did a skit on the?
Yes. Actually, I thought they missed a lot. They could have picked up on a lot more things.
Okay, it's 4:30, so I think we should get started. I'll start by taking attendance. If you understand how to use your mutes, I'd ask that you use them unless you're speaking during the meeting. And if you're on a phone and you can't mute, that's fine. Just keep the phone away from your mouth if possible. All right, so I'm just going to do a visual. I see Maureen. I'm going to check her off. Russ, I think you said you were here, correct? Russ?
Yes.
Okay. John Griffin, I see.
Here you
Or I already spoke with, so I know he's on the line. Elaine, I can see. Charlene, are you with us? Okay, moving on. Michelle, I can see. Yvonne. Okay, moving on. John Salerno. Okay, I don't hear John. Gary Nelson, I saw. Steve Boucher, I saw. Gary Porcelli, I have. Gary, still with us?
I'm here by phone.
Perfect, thank you. And then we have Scott, Diane, Chris, and Charlie. So I have absent today Charlene and John Salerno. So keep your eyes peeled if they come on.
Like a text, we got it.
You got it? Oh, good.
Okay, so if possible, please,
All right, cool.
please mute. We're going to turn this over now to Elaine to.
Thanks, Steve.
Okay, I'd like to call the meeting to order, and I think as we always do, we will say the pledge of allegiance.
Oh, wait a minute, knock me out.
Okay, lead us on, Elaine.
Pardon?
Go ahead.
Go ahead. All right. I pledge allegiance
To the flag.
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Now is the time to recognize visitors. I've been reminded to say that this meeting is being recorded and it is available to the public. So if there is anybody out there that's listening to us, we welcome you and hope that you will come and listen to us sometime in our own boardroom. We love to have guests. If the meeting will be recorded, so if you want a copy of the recording, you can access it after the meeting, getting to our department, right? Our technology department or the superintendent's office.
Correct.
Okay. Communication, I have a few items that I would like to check off. First of all, I think it's important to be acknowledging, express our appreciation to Dr. Kilborn and to the directors for all the work they've done in leading this organization, and also to those who are part of our organization and have worked so hard. We've seen many articles. Michelle has sent us some communication about some things that have been out there, and we have been visible during this, and I know that everyone has been working very hard. It's a difficult time, but we're almost through. I would like to remind those who have not returned their completed district superintendent's evaluation form to please do so. Michelle is the chairman of that committee, and she would like Deb to get them together for her so that she can start planning the review of those evaluations. Also, this month is the month I am supposed to appoint a nominating committee for officers for next year. I'm not prepared to do that at this point, but I would ask those of you who are interested in being an officer to please contact me and let me know before the May meeting. And then I will appoint a committee from those members who are not interested. I just have no idea this year what the level of interest is. It's a new year. We got a dynamic leader. It'd be great to be the head of the group. So everybody get in line if you would like. And I know many of you have not done it in the past, but certainly have been there long enough to be able to lead us. So please do that. Let me know. And then in May, I will appoint a committee. I just ask that during this meeting, when we have a motion and a second, that I move and say your name, Doreen, whatever it be, so that Deb can clearly see who's making a motion and having a second. So is there any other communication that we need to carry on? No? Okay, so then we will go to the district superintendent's report.
Okay, so we have a few items to go through. Number one is you'll find a board resolution regarding continued payment for hourly employees during COVID-19. That's in practice as our employees are on call, but also in light of the fact that we continue to receive monies from the districts coming in, and as they continue to receive monies from the state, we're asked to continue to employ people. It offsets what we don't have in terms of unemployment insurance and maintains the benefit structure for them. So I had mentioned that in some earlier communications with the board, and that's the resolution you'll find today. Also, I'm going to propose right now that we postpone our continued mission and vision work, just because it's hard to kind of digest that and engage in conversation in this format. So I'd ask us to continue with our existing mission and vision until such time we're physically with each other again. Capital project, the window project is being postponed again. Some capital projects are allowed in schools, but they have to be tied to safety and health. And at this time, we're moving forward with postponing that. Just want to check with Charlie. Were there any changes to that, Charlie, or that's still where we are, correct?
That is where we are. You got it.
Okay. Regarding the budget, the New York State budget was sent out earlier this week. Earlier last week, I did write to you as a board about it. It's not really looking great for schools right now. What really happened was that stimulus money came through from the federal government, and instead of it being added to the state's budget, the governor elected to remove $1.1 billion out of the state budget and fill the hole with the federal money. So what's happened is there has been no increase in funding to our schools, and built into that proposal is an opportunity on 4 different occasions throughout the year for the governor to do a look back. If revenues that the state was anticipating aren't coming in at an appropriate level, they can make proposals to further cuts to the education budget. I have been in conversations with local local senators, local governance. They don't anticipate a lot of leverage at the state legislative level to offset any further proposals for reductions that the governor might make. There is some talk about another education stimulus package coming through the federal government to schools, but to the level that that becomes additional money to our area or to any schools in New York State is still questionable. So we'll continue to keep you informed, because of course, though we don't receive those direct funds, that will impact what our component districts are able to do regarding their budgeting in general and services and programming for children. So we'll keep you in the loop on that. The BOCES administrative budget is up for vote in our districts on April 28th. That does not carry significant increases. And it's not the same as a program budget. So we're moving through with that vote among all the districts in the region. Our program budgets could see fluctuations. That's where, depending on the district's need for services, change in service needs as a result of the budget, and change in finances, we can see changes in our program budgets, which we're pretty used to in a BOCES. The commitments are due early May. I believe that's correct, right, Charlie? And so we might see changes in what people are requesting for BOCES services. In some cases, it could be more. because they'll have to share services versus employing additional people within their home districts. And in some cases, that might be less. So we'll continue to keep you in the loop as we learn more from the districts about what they think they're going to do. All of it's a little tenuous right now because budget approvals among component districts are being pushed back into June because the governor has pushed off budget votes until early June. And also because the governor will have done his first look back in May. So there could be proposed cuts then, or you might find we started a certain level of service and then in the middle of the year, the governor will cut the school district's budgets. And that will, of course, have like a bit of a boomerang effect with us. So we'll continue to keep you updated on the fiscal circumstances. We work very closely with the superintendents in this region. We're in communication multiple times a week, and this is one of the big discussions we're currently having. COVID-19 related updates. We are offering a prorated paycheck. So we have 10-month employees, typically they are our teachers and teachers' assistants, who elect to have some of their money from each of their paychecks set aside so that their last paycheck in June is a larger sum. And that money carries them through the summer, because recall that they're not 12-month employees, they're 10-month employees. So some people refer that to as the multi-check or the big check. We recognize that many of our families have been negatively impacted as a result of COVID-19. There are many layoffs. So we're offering an opportunity for those employees to access some of their set-aside funds earlier, should they have an undue financial hardship that's related to COVID-19. And this is a one-time offer. So we were able to put that together, and then information was released out yesterday to our employees as a way to assist them during this time. Additionally, we've been doing a lot of work in instruction. So the governor announces the closures in 2-week increments. And as you know, our closures have been extended until April 29, well, April 30. And at that time, we'll find out, if we're going to be closed for yet another 2 weeks. So we're shifting from more supplemental instruction to more direct and indirect remote instruction. So during the first phase of 2-week closures, children were sent home largely with like paper packets of work to do and complete at home. And we are beginning to shift that into more online environments. Some of that is in real time, like we're having right now, where a teacher can load up a classroom or provide, let's say, speech therapy to a child over the internet. And in other cases, they're in online kind of like repositories where assignments can be left, children can pull their assignments and complete them, return them electronically, and teachers can comment. So we're seeing more of that shift as appropriate. We recognize with some of our younger students, and depending on the ability level of our different students, that there might be other modalities that are more appropriate to individuals, and our teachers are working through that. In an effort to support the districts in their understanding of that, Chris Hill and his group have put together a document that explains for every single program like Bridges, MSA, Career and Tech, P-Tech, what was done in the first phase and what the transition is now, so the districts know what to expect from BOCES programming. And I was very appreciative to see that they were doing that. I was asked to explain some of this in an interview. So there was a TV interview that I did like 2 days ago via Zoom, which was interesting to do a Zoom interview. That went well. And one of our local teachers was celebrated, and I wrote her name down. Of course, now I'm trying to read through her name. Jennifer Maynard, she's located in Westmoreland, and she was celebrated for her contributions to her students and was featured also on the news. So good news for BOCES out there, which is always appreciated. Also in line with instruction, an area of challenge that we're going to have to figure out, and we do not have answers to right now, will have to do with career and technical hours. So some of our programs require a certain amount of hours. Cosmetology is one. And is it nursing? It's not nursing. It's what is the other one, Chris, though? What's the name of the actual program? Chris is muted still. He has a problem with his mute button. It's been an ongoing issue with Chris.
The certified nurse assistant program is the one that requires hours. Certified nurse assistant and cosmetology are the two that have required hours.
So across the state, BOCES are trying to figure out how do we accommodate the required hours children need in order to gain their licensure in those areas. State Education Department is working with the Office of Professions, and we're looking for further guidance. So that's kind of a nebulous territory right now still. In addition to that, we're starting to talk about summer, and this is all of the component school districts. We recognize that at the beginning of next year, children may be coming to us with some gaps in their learning that we're going to have to help them with. And what better opportunities might be available to them to come in and do some work in the summer, which might mean that our summer school may look differently. And we're also looking at how can technology assist where families may want to actually get out of their houses and go places in the summer if possible, and not want to have their kids come into a campus to a school program. So Mr. Morris has been great. He and Ann Turner and Chris Hill have been working together to think about ways to provide summer instruction and supports for children in different modalities so that children can access it. So we're working with the component superintendents on that to see what kind of things we can do for children for the remainder of this year, for the summer and for early fall. So that's an ongoing instructional discussion that we're having throughout the region. And also on some good news, as you are aware that schools in our area are required to continue to feed children. And I think that's kind of a joyous requirement, right? We always want our children well fed. And as you know, Oneida, Herkimer, Madison, BOCES has an excellent food service program that supports 14 school districts. Charlie pulled together some data for me, and so far we have served 50,000 breakfasts and 50,000 lunches. So that's something to celebrate right there, isn't it? Isn't that wonderful? So that is it for the superintendent updates. So I'm going to mute myself now, Elaine.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Kilburn. The next item is approval of minutes of our regular meeting, which was March 11th. May I have a motion, please?
So moved, Michelle. Oh,
Okay, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second if I'm not first.
Okay, we have a motion and we have a second. Do you have that, Deb?
Yes.
In favor? Aye. Opposed. Thank you. The next is the approval of the minutes of the annual meeting, which was April 1st. May I have a motion, please?
Make a motion, Yvonne.
Make second, Gary.
Okay, we have a motion and we have a second. All in favor, please? Aye.
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 Opposed?
Aye.
Aye.
Madam President,
Yes,
Madam President, Gary Porcelli,
yes.
point of information, would you please state for the recording that there is a quorum present?
I think you took attendance, did you not?
I know that Dr. Kilburn took a head count.
Okay, well,
I think
Deb,
you
would you add that to the minutes, please, that we have a quorum for this meeting? Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Okay. The next is approval of the consent agenda. And just for informational purposes, as usual, we have the financial report. We have all the personnel appointments, both instructional and non-instructional. We have 3 action items. One is the authorization for the paid time off, which Trish talked about. We have an award for the elementary science kits. And I think they bid was 15 different vendors. So they've been thoroughly looked at, and those are there for approval. I think that's all we have for the consent agenda. Charlie, do you have anything you'd like to say about the financial reports?
No, things are continuing. The schools are continuing to pay us. So, all is in good shape financially through June 30th, as long as we continue on this path.
Okay, great. So therefore, I would like a motion for the consent agenda, please.
So moved, Michelle.
Move it. Second, Gary.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor, please?
Yes.
Aye.
No?
Aye.
Okay. Motion carried. I did speak to you about the nominating committee. I don't know if all of you, well, you probably were. But please, those of you who are interested in an officership, please let me know during the next month. And at the May meeting, I will appoint a nominating committee of people who are not interested. So I'm looking forward to hearing from many of you. I guess we don't have any old business, but we do have an executive session. And you can see we have an executive session for employment history and collective and negotiations. So I would like a motion to go into executive session.
So moved, Russ.
And a second, please.
I'll second John Griffin.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. We are now in executive session.
Dr. Kilburn, you're muted.
All right, so Scott, you're gonna break us out into the other room, and then I'm gonna call you on my phone when we need to come back out.
Will you stop recording right now?
Yep, I'm going to stop recording right now for executive session.
All right, wish me luck.
So everyone just hang in there, and Scott's gonna kind of move us into another virtual room.
And Trish, the public is viewing also?
Public is viewing this meeting, and what's happening right now is Scott is setting us up to go into a separate room, a virtual room. And when that happens, it's not viewable.
It's executive session.
Yep.
No
can't be
public.
Public.
Okay, thank you.
So we're just gonna have to hang in there for a few minutes because he has to kind of like click on all of our icons and then assign us to a breakout room. So we don't know it. We're not physically going anywhere, but in the virtual world we are. And then he's gonna reconnect us. I have to call him manually with a telephone and say, put us back in, and then he'll move us all back in.
Trish, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
I sent this to you on the chat. I don't know if you got it.
Yes, I replied. Yep.
Okay, I don't know how to get the reply. How does that work out? Do we lose funding?
Well, at this time, so Mike Moore had asked the question, and this is still public information. Mike Moore had just asked the question, if we're not providing services at this time, our district's no longer paying, and then are we losing funds? But the majority of our services are still being provided, and the district is continuing to pay their invoices to BOCES. So at this time, we're not going through any loss of funds. And should the district still get their money from the state, that could be the case. It should continue. If in the fourth quarter, the money from the state doesn't come in or gets cut, that might change things, but it's too early to tell.
Okay, I'm ready to make the move.
All right, thank you.
So you should be getting an invitation.
Join breakout room.
Hey, that looks like it worked. Mrs. Turner, what do you see? Just me and Deb? Can't hear you.
I see you and Deb
Charlie.
and
What happened?
Charlie.
Chris and I were sent over. Hopefully he'll come back.
You're supposed to go. You're supposed to be in executive session.
Oh, I am?
Yeah.
Geez, I better join.
Nice going, Charlie.
Can you join it again, or do I have to do something for you here?
I don't know.
All right, let me see.
I don't think I can join.
Ah, shoot. All right, let's see. How can I? Charlie Cowan did not join. How do I?
No, I did, but I came back because I didn't think I was supposed to be there.
I don't know how to get you back in. Let's see. Breakout room.
Let's see, what do we got down here? Breakout rooms, join breakout room. Okay.
There you go.
So I'm looking at the Rome newspaper that just came. And I see Adirondack Central has a big article in here with regard to tax hike 3.3% and staff reductions.
You said that's Adirondack?
Yep. Their budget's 30 million.
All right, I'm gonna mute.
If you push that button, you'll be in main session again.
Okay, Scott knows how to retrieve the people on telephones.
Okay.
So I'm hoping that they can come back. Oh, there's Yvonne. She's sideways. Hi, Yvonne. There you are. I'm going to resume recording.
Yeah, there was a button on the phone that said leave the breakout session.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, there is?
Yes,
Okay.
up in the right-hand corner.
Wow.
On the
that's
phone.
great.
Oh, okay.
Participants on the phone won't be back for 45 seconds.
Okay. Oh, there's one right now. And there's another one. This is
Yeah.
exciting. This is kind of cool.
They should all, one of them is not back yet.
Can I ask who we have on the phone?
Yes.
And Gary, is that you in addition to Russ? Oh, we got all three.
I'll be back now.
Okay, I think we have everyone back.
Okay, I guess we're back in business. We are now out of executive session and returning to our main meeting. I think we have a motion to approve. Deb, would you
The
read the
resolution to read, correct. So Deb, do you have a copy of the resolution to read into the record?
Yes, I do, Dr. Kilburn. Can you?
Go ahead and read it.
Resolution request for defense and indemnification. Whereas the BOCES has received a letter dated March 9th, 2020 from an employee requesting defense and indemnification in connection with an appearance ticket issued to the employee as a result of an alleged violation of New York State Penal Law, Section 260.10. And whereas in support of the employee's request for defense and indemnification, the employee attached a copy of the appearance ticket. And whereas the BOCES has reviewed the information provided by the employee in support of the employee's request. Therefore, it is resolved, the employee's request for defense and indemnification is denied because there are no statutory, contractual, or legal grounds upon which the request, defense, and indemnification could lawfully be provided. The district superintendent or her designee is directed to notify the employee of this determination.
Okay, fine. If everyone would unmute their phone so we can vote. I would entertain a motion.
So moved.
So moved.
Maureen.
I'm
Okay.
sorry, I didn't get that. I'm sorry, Mrs. Falvo.
Okay, who made the motion? Doreen?
Yes.
And Russ, you seconded it?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, the motion has been moved and seconded. All in favor, please?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Anyone opposed? Okay, I guess we've gotten our business done. This is one of the shortest meetings we've ever had. I don't know, we're really getting good. We're getting really talented with all this stuff. So I thank everyone very much for doing this. Hope maybe in May.
I wouldn't go that far.
We'll probably do this again in May, I would think. I don't know, but
Yeah,
we'll see.
probably.
And thank you, Trish, for keeping us up on what's going on. We appreciate that. And thank the rest of you who are doing so much to keep us going and keeping our children safe. Okay, we are adjourned.
Stay safe.
Yep.
Yep.
You have to make them. Yep.